The Art of Transmuting Sexual Energy into Infinite Power. Author, Vahid Zakavati. Introduction. Deep within every human being lies a hidden spring of powerful, dormant energy. A force that, if properly understood and directed, can transform one's destiny. This book is a journey into the discovery and transmutation of sexual energy, from a natural instinct into an endless source of focus, creativity, and spiritual power. Along this path, you will become acquainted with secrets drawn from science, ancient philosophies, and human experience, secrets designed to bring you to a power beyond anything you have experienced before. Chapter 1. The Great Discovery. Why is sexual desire more than just an instinct? Sometimes, a person is oblivious to a force within themselves that has been with them since birth, flowing silently through every cell. This force is sexual desire, which many attribute merely to the instinct for survival. But the truth is, this desire holds infinite capacity for the flourishing of the mind, body, and spirit. For years, people believed that sexual desire was solely a means of procreation and had no other aspects. This limited view has caused many of us to never consider the possibility of directing this energy towards greater goals. Meanwhile, history is full of people who were able to turn it into the driving engine of their creativity and success. Due to its biopsychological nature, sexual energy is the most energetic form of human motivation. When activated, it not only propels the body into motion, but also awakens the mind and enlivens the spirit. This is precisely where, instead of quickly discharging it, one can transform it into a sublime force. A look at the lives of some great artists shows that they experienced their peak moments of creativity during times when, instead of wasting sexual energy, they retained it within themselves and infused it into their art. This flow, like an inner fire, made their works vibrant and passionate. Leaders and inventors also shared in this secret. Many of them, consciously or unconsciously, learned to channel this desire into a motivating force for advancing their projects and ideas. They understood that this energy can sharpen the mind, strengthen the will, and increase courage. When sexual energy is harnessed and directed, the same inner chemistry that ignites physical desire leads to enhanced focus and persistence. This is the change that enables a person to stay with an important task for hours and not give up. For many, discovering this truth is a turning point. Suddenly, they realize that in all the years past, they had only been spending this energy in one limited direction. The awareness that it can be turned into a source of mental and spiritual power opens a new window onto life. In its raw form, this energy is like a rushing torrent of water that, if released aimlessly, will find its own path and sometimes even become destructive. But if channeled and directed, it can make dry land fertile and turn a desert into a rose garden. Many spiritual traditions of both East and West have hinted at this truth in their deeper layers. Yoga, Taoism, and even some mystical teachings have offered methods for transferring this energy from the physical level to higher levels of consciousness. From a scientific perspective, when sexual energy is retained in the body, hormones and neurotransmitters circulate in a different way. These changes positively affect mood, mental capacity, and even physical strength. Beyond physiology, this energy has a profound psychological impact. A person who directs it often feels they possess a new power and endless motivation. This feeling can make them more resilient in the face of obstacles and more flexible in the face of failure. History has shown that people who reached this understanding often created new paths that didn't exist before. It is as if their minds, by storing and directing this force, connect to a network of pure ideas. In the modern world, this topic is rarely discussed openly. Perhaps it's due to cultural taboos or misconceptions. But those who grasp the secret know that using this force has nothing to do with repression. Rather, it is the art of consciously utilizing a vast resource. When a person begins to experience this change, they notice that the quality of their presence in life has been transformed. Their gaze becomes deeper, their decisions more precise, and their connection with themselves and others more intimate. This new awareness may initially be accompanied by doubt. A mind accustomed for years to repetitive paths resists change, but small, successful experiences gradually melt this resistance. From a certain point onward, the individual realizes that this stored energy not only gives them power, but also leads to a kind of inner radiance and personal magnetism. Those around them sense this change, even if they don't know the cause. Just as muscles grow stronger with exercise, the skill of directing sexual energy also grows with practice and attention. Each time a person decides to channel it, new neural pathways form in the brain. In this process, the individual becomes acquainted with a part of their being they may never have experienced before. A part brimming with willpower, creativity, and a sense of purpose. This acquaintance can fundamentally transform life from the ground up. What ultimately remains is not just power, but also a kind of inner peace and satisfaction. The person is no longer a captive to the aimless waves of desire and excitement, but has become the captain of their own ship of existence. This discovery is perhaps one of the greatest gifts a person can experience in their lifetime. A gift that transforms not only their personal path, but also their impact on the world around them. Chapter 2. The science behind it. The biological and psychological mechanisms of transmutation. The human body is an astonishing network of chemical reactions and neural signals that are constantly exchanging and coordinating. Sexual desire is not a simple phenomenon, but the result of a vast orchestra of hormones and nervous systems working with unparalleled precision. This energy, if stored and directed, can create profound changes in the function of the body and mind. Testosterone, as the primary hormone in arousal and motivation, plays a role far beyond sexual desire. This hormone can increase overall energy levels, self-confidence, and the urge to take action. When this force is retained in the body instead of being quickly discharged, testosterone levels remain elevated more sustainably, and its effects on decision-making and willpower become noticeable. Estrogen, more commonly associated with the female body, plays an important role in mental clarity and emotional balance. The balance between estrogen and other hormones can enhance a sense of harmony and psychological peace. Storing sexual energy gives the body an opportunity to manage this balance better. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter linked to pleasure and reward, becomes highly active during moments of arousal. However, if this energy is channeled instead of discharged, dopamine levels flow through the body more steadily. This stability allows feelings of motivation and passion to last longer. Oxytocin, known as the bonding hormone, is released during intimate interactions. Storing and directing sexual energy can balance the secretion of this hormone and deepen the quality of human relationships. This can contribute to forming more stable emotional bonds. The autonomic nervous system, with its two main branches, sympathetic and parasympathetic, plays a vital role in the process of arousal and relaxation. Directing sexual energy allows these two branches to operate in greater balance, enabling the body to transition healthily between excitement and calm. The spinal column's neural network, as the main pathway for transmitting energy signals, is like a road that directs sexual force toward the brain and other parts of the body. Strengthening this pathway with physical and mental exercises can multiply the effects of energy retention. When sexual energy is stored in the body, the process of cellular regeneration improves. Hormones and growth factors in this state have a greater opportunity to repair tissues and strengthen the immune system. This is the reason why some people on this path report feeling more youthful and vibrant. From a psychological perspective, Freud introduced the concept of sublimation as the ability to convert instinctual energy into constructive actions. This process is considered one of the mechanisms of personal growth and creativity in humans. Yogic teachings also point to the same concept with ideas like prana and kundalini. They say that vital energy can be directed through breathing and mental exercises towards the higher chakras to expand consciousness. In Taoism, the microcosmic orbit is known as one of the main ways to direct energy. This technique, by circulating energy along the spine and returning it to the main centers, not only strengthens the body, but also calms the mind. The intersection of this ancient knowledge and modern scientific findings shows that although their language differs, they share a common destination: the conscious use of the force inherent in every human being. Storing and directing sexual energy also affects the prefrontal cortex. This area is responsible for planning, decision-making, and impulse control. Strengthening it can increase a person's ability to focus and set goals. The hormonal changes resulting from this process also affect serotonin levels. This chemical is responsible for feelings of happiness and calm, and its stability can prevent severe mood swings. An important part of these effects is due to reduced neural burnout. When the body is not engaged in frequent dispositions, the nervous system has more opportunity to recover and regenerate. On an energetic level, storing this force can act like charging a battery. A person feels they have greater reserves to face daily challenges and experiences less mental and physical fatigue. This process changes not only the body, but also the individual's perception. It's as if a new window opens in the mind, and new thought patterns replace old habits. Over time, the individual finds that their body and mind work more harmoniously. Sudden reactions decrease, and choices become more conscious. This is where science and personal experience meet. Ultimately, understanding these mechanisms leads a person to treat their sexual force with greater respect. They no longer see it merely as a passing instinct, but as a resource for growth, healing, and flourishing. Chapter 3. The first step: self-awareness and mastering the immediate reaction. Most people have never paid attention to the fact that there is a gap between the moment sexual desire arises and the practical reaction to it. This gap, however short, can become a golden opportunity to change the destiny of this energy. The first step in transmutation is recognizing and consciously using this very gap. The immediate reaction to desire is the result of neural and psychological habits formed over many years. Through repetition, the mind and body have built pathways that, upon stimulation, head straight towards discharging the energy. To change this pattern, one must first become aware of the moment desire begins. Self-awareness means the ability to see the desire before it sweeps you away. This skill can be cultivated with practice and gradually allows you to choose rather than merely react. To begin, there is a simple exercise. At the moment arousal begins, take a deep breath and bring your attention to the sensation of breathing in your nose and chest. This shifts the mind from automatic reaction to a state of presence and observation. Mental pause is one of the key techniques on this path. That is, consciously slowing down the flow of thoughts and focusing solely on the self. This pause gives the brain a moment to reconsider the reaction pathway. Increasing presence in the body means physically sensing different points of the body, especially the feet and spine. This helps distribute energy throughout the body and moves it away from being concentrated solely in the genital area. Another effective exercise is consciously changing your physical state. As soon as you feel an intense urge, stand up, walk around, or do a gentle stretch. This change of state signals to the nervous system that a different path has been chosen. Practicing diaphragmatic breathing is also very important. By inhaling deeply so that the belly rises and exhaling slowly, you can reduce the overactivity of the sympathetic nervous system and return the body to a state of balance. These exercises might seem simple at first, but their effects become apparent with repetition. Each time you observe and direct the desire, new neural pathways form in the brain. It's important to understand that the goal is not to suppress the desire. Suppression compresses the energy and makes it potentially destructive, while observation and direction move it onto a new path. The moment of arousal is actually the moment with the greatest potential for growth. If you can remain aware in this moment, instead of quickly exiting, the energy begins to rise and expand throughout the body. Many have recommended directing this energy up the spine towards the crown of the head. Although this skill requires practice, the first step is the ability to delay the immediate reaction. Daily meditation is one of the key tools in this process. Even 5 minutes of sitting in silence, observing thoughts, can increase your capacity for presence during moments of arousal. Changing a habit requires patience and self-compassion. Each time you succeed in directing the energy, even for a few seconds, you must see it as valuable progress. Sometimes there may be lapses, but every experience is an opportunity to better understand your personal patterns. The goal is gradual and sustainable progress, not sudden perfection. Over time, this skill becomes a natural part of your life. You will find that even outside the sexual context, your ability to delay emotional reactions has increased. As this process becomes internalized, it gives you a greater feeling of power and control over your life. You are no longer a slave to impulses. Rather, you can direct any arousing energy in your desired direction. The real reward of this path is not only in controlling sexual energy, but in a deeper experience of yourself and the present moment. This experience provides a solid foundation for the later stages of transmutation. In the end, it's important to know that although the first step seems simple, it is the main pillar of the entire process. Without it, no sustainable direction would be possible. Chapter 4. Paths of Transformation. Practical Techniques for Energy Transmutation. Why do you sometimes feel a force erupting within you, and your only reaction in that moment? The first task is to choose the breath as a guide, and instead of fleeing, watch with curiosity so that a new window may open. This brief gaze can initiate a wave of change, drawing awareness to parts of the body that were previously unknown. In a group session of creative individuals, I heard one of them say that while walking to the kitchen and drinking water, he was able to hold the moment and then transfer that energy into writing. This simple act has science behind it because it breaks the pattern and allows for conscious choice. By repeating this choice, it becomes a new habit, and this practice continues. An athlete's experience shows that by learning to control his breath, he was able to transform sexual energy into focus. His practice included deep diaphragmatic breathing and focusing on the soles of his feet, which enhanced the feeling of balance and being grounded. This simple method distributes energy throughout the entire structure, preventing it from gathering in one specific point, and this practice continues. Evidence shows that breath control can shift the nervous system from a sympathetic to a parasympathetic state, meaning reduced stress and increased recovery. When sexual energy is directed under the right conditions, reward and regeneration hormones like dopamine and growth hormones function differently. These biological infrastructure changes enable longer focus and conscious creation, and this practice continues. One important point often overlooked is the distinction between suppression and direction. Suppressing energy leads to accumulation and pressure, sometimes resulting in unstable behaviors. But directing energy means accepting, observing, and then channeling it. In practice, this acceptance is like a gentle conversation with the body, choosing cooperation over conflict. And since cooperation consumes less energy, the results are more sustainable. And this practice continues. A useful mental image is to picture sexual force like a powerful torrent of water that either gets lost in a devastating flood or, by building a purposeful reservoir, is used for prosperous days. People who have consciously built their reservoirs possess a higher capacity for creation and regeneration. This image helps place choice ahead of reaction and reveals the art of energy management in daily life. And this practice continues. The energy circuit exercise is one of the tools that teaches a person how to let the flow circulate smoothly in a loop within the body. This circuit is not merely a technique, but a new language for understanding inner movement. When you practice in this circuit, a greater sense of connection forms between different parts of the body, and the mind also benefits from an integrated experience that transcends the moment. And this practice continues. In a collective experience of yoga students, many reported that when their practices focused on the heart, the quality of their relationships also improved. This link shows that directing energy not only strengthens the individual, but also paves the way for connection. A sense of belonging and emotional awareness can naturally arise from these methods, and this practice continues. Fear of failure or negative feedback may hinder taking the step, but the solution lies in reducing the scale of action. Implementing short, repeatable versions of the techniques, like 5 minutes of guided breathing, creates the least resistance and gradually builds confidence. This calm, continuous path is more fruitful than immense, exhausting efforts, and this practice continues. One common mistake is striving for an immediate feeling of effect, which paradoxically prevents one from being effective. Energy transformation requires time, and expecting a miracle overnight only leads to discouragement. One must act with gentleness and persistence, celebrating every small blossoming. This gradual approach creates stability in practice and prevents aimless leaps, and this practice continues. Awareness of biological mechanisms helps make the practices meaningful. Knowing how hormones and transmitters work serves not just as dry information, but as a map for direction. This map shapes daily decisions, such as timing of practice, sleep, and nutrition, all of which play a role in energy management and must be adjusted with care and gentleness. And this practice continues. In practical exercises, combining breath with physical movement has a remarkable effect. Gentle movement of the spine, slow stretches, and mindful walking, accompanied by deep breathing, play an important role in distributing energy. This combination helps prevent energy from being released from one specific point and disperses it evenly throughout the system, ultimately enhancing the feeling of wholeness. And this practice continues. When a person directs energy towards a creative activity, it's as if a bridge is built between passion and creation. History holds examples of inventors and artists who, during periods of self-control over their energy, experienced the creation of lasting works. This link between inner and outer aspects shows that personal energy can become a collective and impactful force. And this practice continues. Focusing on the heart and cultivating a sense of empathy during energy direction helps create ethical and constructive motivations. When the goal is not merely increasing personal ability, but also participating in creating a better world, the energy flows more harmoniously and sustainably. This approach gives deep meaning to the practice and distances it from mere self-centeredness. And this practice continues. Some people face physical resistance, such as pain or discomfort in the lower back or pelvis. In these cases, one should consult a specialist or experienced instructor, and the exercises should be adjusted accordingly. Listening to the body and avoiding excessive pressure is a fundamental principle to ensure this leads to real healing, not injury. And this practice continues. A practical method is to immediately engage in a creative or physical task after a breathing exercise, so the energy is channeled in a constructive direction. This could be writing, drawing, or even performing a short athletic movement. The chosen activity should be meaningful and engaging, so the energy naturally serves it, rather than merely dissipating. And this practice continues. Writings on perseverance show that daily practice is important, but the time frame should be flexible. Sometimes a day of rest doesn't change the path but aids recovery. Maintaining a balance between practice and rest is an example of practical wisdom gained along the way, because energy requires cycles of consumption and recovery. In group practices, observing the positive effects on social interactions is interesting. Participants reported an increased ability to listen to others and engage in conversations without prejudgment. This ability to reflect energy in a collective context shows that change in an individual can gradually lead to change in the group as well. And this practice continues. At the end of each practice period, it's good to review what worked and what needs to change. This review is not for criticism, but for optimizing the path. Briefly recording experiences in a journal helps reveal patterns and makes future decisions more conscious. And this practice continues. Chapter 5, a 30-day program from beginner to advanced. Have you ever wanted to start a new path but didn't know where to begin? Sometimes a force surges within you, but due to the lack of a clear plan, that force is either extinguished or dissipates aimlessly. This 30-day program is like a compass, guiding you from the first small steps to advanced stages. Many people at the beginning of this path face a common challenge. Their minds are full of haste, wanting to reach the result in the very first days. But on this journey, patience is not merely a virtue, it's a necessity. The first week teaches you to pause instead of reacting immediately, to give your inner force a chance to take shape in silence. In the early days, your focus is solely on observation. Whenever desire or excitement arises, see it as a guest that has come to deliver its message. This simple yet profound exercise will be the foundation for all subsequent steps. Without this skill, your energy will continue to be wasted along its old path. In the second week, when your mind has reached a greater calm, you introduce conscious breathing into your life. Each inhale and exhale is like a calm river, carrying sexual energy from the center of the body to all your limbs. This is the beginning of creating flow. If you continue carefully, you'll gradually notice your mind becoming clearer and your mood more balanced. There will be days when you don't feel like practicing, or your attention is scattered on 1,000 other things. Here, you must remember that even 1 minute of conscious breathing is better than abandoning the path entirely. Consistency is the most important secret of this program. The third week is the time to add creativity and movement. Now that your body and mind are more prepared, entrust the stored energy to activities that enliven your heart. Writing, playing music, exercising, or any other work that gives you a sense of creation. This is the point where sexual energy begins its transformation. During these days, ideas you've never thought of before might suddenly sprout in your mind. This is a sign that the energy is flowing not only in the body, but also in the mental and spiritual layers. Write those ideas down, even if they seem small or strange. Some people at this stage are tempted to pour all their energy into external tasks, only to fall back into the trap of fatigue and burnout. You must remember that this energy is first and foremost for building your inner self. The fourth week is a time for consolidation and deepening. Here, you must increase your capacity for holding energy. This is like enlarging the container you want to keep water in. If the container is small, no matter how hard you try, some water will spill out. In these days, breathing exercises become longer, and moments of silence and meditation find more space in your day. You might feel that time passes more slowly, and you experience events with greater clarity. This feeling is a sign of your harmony with your inner rhythm. Sometimes at this stage, you might unintentionally revert to the past and old habits. You should not see this as a failure. Relapses are part of the journey, and each time you rise again, your roots grow deeper. At the end of these 30 days, more than any external change you might see, you will feel different inside. Your mind is more organized, your body more energetic, and you feel you are riding the waves of your desires, not being swept away by them. The most important gift this path gives you is renewed trust in your own abilities. Now you know you can direct the force that was once dissipated towards paths that are meaningful to you. With this program, you no longer need to treat your energy like an enemy that must be controlled. You see it as a friend and companion that, if guided correctly, can take you to new heights. Many who have walked this path have said that even their relationships with others became deeper and more intimate. Because when you are calmer with yourself, you also treat others with more calm and respect. This path has no end. After 30 days, you can repeat the same program or expand it based on your new needs. The important thing is to keep moving. Each time you remember what a treasure this energy is, your passion for continuation doubles, and this passion is the fuel that keeps you alive on the infinite journey of awareness. If one day you feel you are back at the beginning, starting again means that the desire for growth is still alive within you, and this itself is the greatest victory. Ultimately, this program is just a tool to remind you of what was always inside you from the start: the ability to create change and flourish. You are the very source from which this energy arises. Warnings, balance, and an integrated life. Have you ever found yourself unintentionally drawn into excess on a path of personal growth or practice? Sometimes the eagerness for progress becomes so intense that the line between constructive effort and counterproductive pressure disappears. The same is true when working with sexual energy. If you devote all your attention to holding back or suppressing this force, you will arrive not at flourishing, but at contraction and burnout. Many people think that success on this path means never allowing the energy to be discharged. The goal is not merely retention, but the conscious and natural direction of the energy. Just like a river that becomes a swamp if its path is blocked, this force also needs to flow. Some people, imagining they must completely distance themselves from desire, begin to suppress it. This not only threatens mental health, but can also harm the body. Excessive suppression creates physical and psychological tensions that will sooner or later manifest in other forms. On the other hand, complete release, without any awareness, scatters and weakens the energy. This is what many experience in daily life: chronic fatigue, lack of motivation, and poor concentration. Between these two extremes lies a place called balance. Balance means reconciling desire with awareness. It means being able to feel desire, accept it, and respond to it, but with a response that is conscious and aligned with your values. This is a skill acquired through persistent practice, taking time to become ingrained in your being. Some days you might feel you have a lot of energy and can spend it on creative or physical work. Other days, you might only need rest and calm. Respecting this natural rhythm is one of the signs of maturity on this path. You must know that this is not a competition to win or compare yourself with others. Everyone has their own unique path, and the pace of progress varies. What matters is honesty with yourself and listening to your inner voice, not blindly following the patterns of others. Sometimes you might see people proudly speaking of their ability to retain energy for long periods. This apparent success is worthless if it lacks depth and awareness. What matters is the quality of life and the peace you gain from this path. Learn that on this journey, your body is not an enemy or an obstacle, but a home where you must live with love and respect. Listening to your body's signals is the key to understanding your true needs and limits. On this path, beware of mental temptations that sometimes disguise themselves in the cloak of spirituality or self-control. You might deceive yourself into thinking you are growing, when in reality, you are only running away from fear or past habits. Working with sexual energy is part of an integrated life, not something separate from it. This energy must find its natural place alongside work, relationships, rest, and play. When this balance is achieved, you no longer need to control anything with force or pressure. The flow of energy, like a harmonious piece of music, plays its various roles in different moments of life. Remember that no practice can replace love and human connection. Sexual energy in its healthiest form invites us to a deeper connection with others and with the world. On this path, mistakes and temporary setbacks are inevitable. What matters is returning to the path and learning from each experience. If one day you feel this practice has become a source of pressure or obsession, you need to pause and return to your original intention. This work should make you freer and more vibrant, not more captive. Sometimes it's necessary to consciously rest and even set aside the practice for a while, so you can return to it with renewed passion and clarity. This is part of respecting the natural cycles of body and mind. Over time, you will realize that sexual energy is only one of the springs of power within you. Recognizing and directing it will also lead you to discover other sources of strength and inspiration. Ultimately, this path has no fixed destination. Each day is a new opportunity for experience, learning, and greater harmony with yourself. We close this book with an open invitation. Continue, but with calm. Let each step bring you closer to your true self, that place where power and hope grow together. Conclusion. The book The Hidden Energy, The Art of Transmuting Sexual Energy into Infinite Power, is a profound journey into one of the most powerful sources of human energy. This book not only teaches you how to elevate sexual energy beyond its merely instinctual and physical realm, but also guides you on how to turn this energy into a driving engine for psychological growth, creativity, and life force. Initially, you became acquainted with a new understanding of the nature of sexual force, realizing that this energy, like a rushing current, can transform your life. Then, you delved into the biological and psychological reasons behind this phenomenon, where hormones and neural networks placed bright lights on your path. You learned that the first step is mastering immediate reactions and observing desires without unconscious response, a skill that is the foundation of energy transmutation, allowing you to conserve and direct your power. Practical techniques such as breathing, circulating energy in the microcosmic orbit, pranayama, heart meditation, and combining these with creative activities were the keys to entering a new world, enabling you to experience the flow of energy in your body and mind. The 30-day program gave you the opportunity to practice these skills step by step and apply them in your daily life, a process starting with self-awareness and leading to consolidation and balance. Finally, the warnings and discussions about balance reminded you that even boundless power, if used unwisely, can turn into its opposite. You learned that harmony between desire and awareness, and respect for the needs of body and mind, are the foundation of a healthy and integrated life. This book is an invitation to continue the journey, to pursue a more inner path, and to repeatedly discover the sources of energy hidden within every human being. This journey has neither an end nor a specific destination, but is a path towards self-awareness, flourishing, and deep peace. Now that you have begun this path, it is the best time to guide yourself with confident and conscious steps towards a brighter and more powerful future.